Initially, I didn't want to have children. I didn't know what was wrong with me. I just knew that I heard voices from time to time when no one was around and when I was very young. Unlike that of my lady goddess, they were mean, evil, malicious, and mocking. They scared the hell out of me. Neither did it help when my father forced me to go with him and my sister's friends to see The Exorcist at the age of 9 at the drive-in theater. My father apparently meant to flirt with the girls, even while watching the movie, while I cried from terror with my face pushed against the floorboard of the back seat, my hands covering my ears. My father threatened to beat me if I didn't stop crying, and so I did stop, if only enough to keep the terror inside me. Later, when I was a young man, I thought about having children, but I knew then that if I had children, chances are they would be like me, and I didn't want anyone to be like me. I didn't want to put anyone through that vociferating hell. People make joke out of hearing voices, but to one that hears voices, it's no joke. People think the person is crazy, somehow bent, not playing with a full deck, or otherwise lesser than the person that doesn't hear voices. Wherein lays the judgment? Wherein lies being ostracized? Wherein lies being beaten by your father until you confess that you don't hear voices, that you're just trying to get attention? Certainly hearing voices merits attention. However, I don't think it's the kind of attention you would go looking for. So you keep it to yourself, you don't let on. In the meanwhile, you know that something is wrong and you have to find out what it is. Then there follows depression, crippling depression, clinical depression, abysmal depression. It's the kind of depression that makes you want to die. It's the kind of depression that gives fuel to the fire of voices, feeding them, making them louder, stronger, producing and reproducing sad and bitter memories from a past none too kind. In retrospect, learning about the misfiring of neurons in the brain helped me to understand my mental disorder. Again, knowing the science helped deal with the principle. However, it would not be without there first being disorder. My wife and I spoke to a therapist who considered the possibility of me having a bipolar disorder with schizoaffective tendencies. A psychiatrist came into the picture next. However, he was an idiot. Like many psychiatrists, he was trying to impress me with his intelligence, while he deduced the fact that I was not bipolar, as I didn't have all the hallmark symptoms. The psychiatrist was insistent that I was merely suffering from deep depression, and so he gave me medication, an antidepressant, without a mood stabilizer. And the therapist could have told the doctor what would happen if you give a bipolar person an antidepressant without a mood stabilizer, because it did. I had a full-blown manic episode, mentally psychotic, utterly horrifying. I was committed to the state hospital to undergo proper analysis and determine the cause of the episode and psychotic break. It was as the therapist said, I was bipolar with schizoaffective tendencies. They gave me the proper medication, neurons fired properly, and I was balanced. But that would not be the cure. It would just be the remedy to quell the problem the best it could. I would be struggling intermittently with mental disorder all through my life, and I often wondered why. Why it was I was born into an imbalanced world. All the while I find myself in balance, and trying to find balance in myself while living in a world that is in fact imbalanced. Leah's sons would ask themselves the same thing, as the younger son would later be diagnosed with bipolar disorder, while the older son would suffer visual and auditory hallucinations as a result of schizophrenia. The irony, so palpable.